Your teeth clench and your spine tingles at every movement within the darkness around you. The pain of losing your friend is still fresh as a Hiroshima steps forth with a shadow-draped sword to end your suffering and send you to Yenlo's embrace. Welcome to the realm of EverLore. EverLore is an innovative tabletop RPG that promotes diversity and inclusion. In this video, we'll discuss the Traveler's Compendium, which is an essential guide for players. EverLore was created by David Thompson. It is part of our boundless gaming system and does not rely on classes or levels. The game consists of 5 core books: Inception, Traveler's Compendium, Thy Kingdoms Come, Monsters Menagerie, and The Chronicler's Delight. You can learn more about EverLore at Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at EverLore Game, or on our website, www.ManChildLTD.com. True to our mission, the EverLore team is made up of a great group of guys from various ages, races, and backgrounds. We have been working together for the past 2 years on testing, editing, testing, and of course, more testing. I know what you're thinking. Hey, where are the women at? I agree. And one of our main short-term goals is to be able to bring on a female gamer to join our team and become a member of Wahuru, which is the name that our adventurers call themselves. Wahuru's exploits can typically be viewed weekly in the stream called Evermore with EverLore at twitch.tv/EverLore Game. During this time of pandemic, we have been recording our sessions on Zoom and posting them on our YouTube channel at ManChild Ltd. Chapters 1 and 2 of the Traveler's Compendium focus on teaching you how to create unique characters. Since the balance system does not rely on classes, character creation is based on traits, aptitudes, quirks, and proficiencies. Instead of levels, the balance system uses a point-by progression method that allows you to easily adapt your character as she gains experience points. Chapter 2 is also where you will find information on our current list of playable races. At this point, EverLore offers 40 playable races and subgroups. We introduce new and exciting races like Elons, Drex, Shorns, and more. EverLore also provides a fresh look at some standard races like dwarves, gnomes, halflings, and elves. Burvores are a woodland race that would prefer peace but do not shrink from battle. Their primary subgroups are standard Burvores, Oddins, Wetzels, and Wolvns. Shorns are a race not native to Mythandria that have been forever sundered from their ancestral home in the Shadow Sea. This separation has created an ever-growing schism amongst the Shorn that threaten to spill out into all-out warfare. The subgroups of Shorns are Standard Shorns, Sorrentos, Hists, and Thrani. Gnomes are small in stature and resemble human children. They have an innate affinity for elements and are deeply concerned with weather conditions. Their subgroups are Cave, Storm, and the feared Krolos gnomes. As the world's ambassadors, dwarves are respected by nearly every culture. Stout of arm and true beyond measure, dwarves are often called upon to mediate disputes between warring factions. The primary subgroups of dwarves are the water-breathing Mayrens, the mighty shield dwarves, the winged soaring dwarves, and the mysterious Vulcan dwarves. Chapter 2 of the Traveler's Compendium also contains a section on cultures. It provides a very brief introduction to 10 of the more prominent kingdoms of Midian: Ad-Kadif, Apuni Lokahi, Chaluk'Sen, Gathria, Gaiagenon, Kelitan, Kush, Treslantes, Vizithia, and the Zulu nation. It explains how cultures add adjustments to your characters. Selecting a culture and quirks will enable players to craft an engaging bio for their characters, which will enhance the gameplay for years to come. Chaluk'Sen is the largest kingdom of Midian. Its people, the Chaluk'Sens, are the only ones native to the continent. These first peoples that previously lived in diverse tribes banded together into a mighty force to halt the advance of new settlers. These brave and noble warriors have a deep love of nature and work closely with the spirits to keep their lands healthy and strong. The citizens of Kelitan consider themselves a single people, even though they live in self-sustaining cities and villages. Their common values, along with a complex pattern of intermarriage, link them in many ways. The Keltans inhabit the Nourlands and are fierce warriors that believe death in battle is the most honorable way to go. Their sleek longboats allow them to launch raids on distant communities along their region's many waterways. The Zulu nation is a relatively new kingdom that is comprised of 7 mighty city-states. As former slaves of Gathria, the Zulu earned their freedom through bloodshed, and were only successful due to aid from Chaluk'Sen warriors, 2 juvenile dragons, and a young titan. The Zulus' close bond with the citizens of Chaluk'Sen and enmity towards the people of Gathria have only deepened in the years since their nation's founding. While Chapter 3 of the Traveler's Compendium details combat, Chapter 4 discusses the equipment that your character will need to survive. It explains how the quality of an item impacts its price and utility, and contains a substantial list of items, both enchanted and not. Chapter 4 also provides an understanding on potions, meals, transportation, and more. The reclusive elves prefer to deal death up close, and have created the Kthorn to satisfy their bloody desires. The noble dwarves combine their fondness of the axe and sword into a deadly weapon, known as a Dwarven Cleaver. The ingenious halflings of Mythandria have created a weapon known as the slingbow. These weapons fire smaller projectiles than a standard bow, but can be utilized to deal more than one type of damage. Chapter 5 of the Traveler's Compendium discusses magic and spells. Magic in EverLore flows from the Shadow Sea, and is based on the various elemental forces therein. Those with enough core and understanding can access the magic and shape it to their will to devastating effect. EverLore has easy-to-use spell mechanics in which success or failure primarily rests on the outcome of a contested spell dominance versus magic resistance check. The tome also contains over 400 spells. You can support EverLore by visiting our website www.manchildltd.com to purchase your copy of our core books, Lore Master Screen, clothing, and more. You can also sign up to receive our monthly newsletter. Remember, no matter who you are, this game is for you.